Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we are going to be looking at a Leatherman multi-tool that I have wanted to try for a number of years and have never had the chance to until now. And thanks to the generosity of Mr. Camphor Lynn, a longtime subscriber, he has let me borrow several of his different multi-tools, some of which is my first time seeing them in person, and so I'm very, very grateful for that. This is a very unique multi-tool. It was produced from 1986 and it was discontinued in 2004. And this is a very special multi-tool because of how compact this thing folds down to be. So let me fold it down real quick just so you can get an idea. And I'll tell you what, let me bring in, I got the Leatherman Wave right here to set right beside it. So when all is said and done, this little mini tool folds down into an incredibly small package. Let's get into the specs of this guy first, and then we'll go through all the different features and functions of the Leatherman Mini Tool. Well, first of all, let's talk about the overall size of this thing, because it is incredibly, incredibly small when it's all folded down into its closed position. So overall length on this is 2 5/8 of an inch, 2 5/8 of an inch, or that's going to translate to 67 millimeters. It is 1 inch wide, or 25.4 millimeters, and it's only 5/8 of an inch thick when it is all closed up, and that's going to translate to about 16 millimeters. Weight on this guy is also very lightweight. It comes in at 4 ounces or 114 grams. Well, let's get into the tool set and I'll show you how everything operates on the mini tool. Now, for comparison's sake, I've brought in the very first multi-tool from Leatherman. This is the Leatherman PST. So what's unique about the mini tool is that when you fold this thing up, you get a full set of pliers. Now, they're not quite as big as what you got with the PST, but they're pretty close, and they're a pretty substantial plier. So what's great about these, though, is that they have a couple of catches here where you can fold out the handles on either side, and now you have increased the size of this to basically a full-size multi-tool. But it folds down so compactly. It's what made it so incredibly unique. I wish I would have picked one of these up years ago. I just didn't have a need for it back then. I wasn't into collecting multi-tools back then, but more using them from day to day. So let me take this one away and let's get into some of the features of this one. So first of all, let me fold these back up and we'll show you what comes with it. So you get on this side, you get a little clip point blade. Now this is a 428C, but it's only 1 3/8 long in overall length. So this little clip point, while very small, could be very effective. And the tool set within this thing, I'm not even complaining about because of the fact that it folds up to such a small, compact package, is what makes this one really unique. And one thing I noticed about this is that the slip joint on here is incredibly strong for the two tools that are housed within it. So if we flip around to the other side, you have a 3-sided file. So we have our fine cut over here, edge file, and then cross cut on this side. It also becomes your full-size screwdriver. It's about a 1/4 inch screwdriver on there as well. So that is also has a nice slip joint on it, really does. Now, if we fold these handles back out individually one by one, so on the first side here, it also integrates into these second portion of the handle. It has, in this case, it's going to be your bottle cap lifter. It's a little bit tedious because you have to, it's not quite like a full tool because it's integrated in here. You have to set it in to the side and then be able to use it. And then if we get around to the opposite side, this one has your can opener. Now, I'm not going to use this because this isn't my multi-tool. I would really like to know how well that can opener works, though, because they don't put much of a sharpened edge down here. I would have thought with a tool like this that they might have sharpened up the inner side of that handle just a touch in order to make it more viable for a can opener. But all in all, I'm definitely not going to complain about this one. Also incorporates a little lanyard ring up here as well. So then you get your full-size pliers. So basically, these are just very super compact set of full-size pliers, or a full set of needle nose pliers. So you get your needle nose, which if we'll bring that PST back in here, you can see that that comes down to virtually the same. Well, if we can focus here. Why won't she focus? That's annoying. There we go. So you can see that it comes down to pretty much the same point as that PST does. And it's going to give you your needle nose with the, these have been used. You can kind of see they've gotten a hold of something on with this set of pliers. So they've really clamped down on something with these. But it has the little fine cut teeth pattern here, and then it gives you your full set of pliers as well as wire cutters and the little notch down there at the bottom. Actually, these don't have that little notch. That's unusual. Let me see. I thought the PST did. Yeah, it does. So this one doesn't appear to have that notch, which I can almost understand because this because it's a two-part handle system. Maybe they're not designed to be quite as strong, and there's probably not something that they would necessarily want you doing with this type of plier. So that is something that I didn't know about this mini tool, which I can completely understand. Now, the only thing that would have made this thing better is if they would have put a little miniature pocket clip on here. That would have been super cool. Now, it also includes, I forgot, it has the ruler on it as well. So if you fold this out, let's see what that ruler is. So it is about 12.5 centimeters, or roughly 5 inches, a little over 5 inches in overall length. So I've always wanted to try this. I just think this is the coolest thing, having a little set of mini pliers. And for most tasks that you're going to be using a lightweight set of pliers with this, one thing I'm also going to say is that this is something that you notice with these earlier versions, is that this one, obviously this one's been used, so it's well broke in. But this has the USA label on the pliers. Now, the manufacturer, the original manufacturer for that supplied Leatherman with their pliers was actually based in the USA. And then they got into a lawsuit with California, I believe it was, and they had to take made in the USA off their products because they have to have a certain percentage of the multi-tool has to come out of the United States. And what happened was that the manufacturer for their plier heads relocated to Mexico, and so it dropped the percentage. So I don't remember what the threshold is, but because it wasn't, because that company moved their operation to Mexico as opposed to staying in the United States, then it fell below that threshold, and so they had to stop putting made in the USA or USA stamped into their pliers like you'll find on some of the early models. So the very early models were 100% made in the USA, but later versions of the Leatherman multi-tool. Now, that's not to say that the majority of it isn't. A vast majority of the multi-tools that Leatherman makes are actually still made and manufactured right there in Portland. But their pliers they get from a different manufacturer. And so it's unfortunate. I wish that manufacturer was still located in the United States, because what I was going to say about the pliers is they are so incredibly smooth. It's just like when you get a Swiss tool. Most of the Swiss tools, now I've had one or two that didn't operate exactly as smoothly, but these pliers operate so incredibly smoothly. It is just, it's something that I really like about these earlier versions. Now, even my PST is a little stiff, but with all Leathermans, over time, you use them enough, man, they're just going to break in just incredibly well. Same thing with my Surge. You know, I use my Surge daily, and it is super easy to operate as well. So over time, your Leathermans are going to break in. Sometimes you'll get some that are pretty stiff out of the factory. It just takes a little time to work them in. This is the Leatherman Mini Tool, and this one actually holds a U.S. patent number. This was patent number 4744272. So this one, it was not a patent pending tool. This was actually a patented tool, and so that's actually pretty cool. This is the Leatherman Mini Tool, a multi-tool that I have always wanted to try. Let's just go around it real quick. I'll fold out these tools here so you can get a little better look at it. This is definitely one I've always wanted to use, and until now, I have never had the opportunity. So I like this. I wish that they would make an updated version to this, because I think this is still a viable thing. Maybe they just didn't sell enough of them, but I would definitely like to see an upgraded version. This is the Leatherman Mini Tool, a very cool look down memory lane. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one.